Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dewa Bagus Kuncoro, and I'm responsible for barista in Brula Cafe and Roastery. The purpose of today's presentation is to persuade you to love to drink coffee. So, if you have any question you'd like to ask, please leave them until the end, when I will do my best to answer them. In today's presentation, I'd like to cover 2 points. Firstly, I will explain the benefit of drinking coffee. Secondly, I will give you ways to enjoy coffee. Before I start, I will ask you something. Do you like to drink coffee? If you don't like to drink coffee, here, I will give you the benefit of drinking coffee. So, you will love it after watch my presentation. Coffee is one of the world's most popular beverages. Thanks to its high level of antioxidants and beneficial nutrients. It also seems to be quite healthy. Studies show that coffee drinkers have a much lower risk of several serious diseases. Here are the 12 health benefits of coffee. First, can improve energy levels and make you smarter. Coffee can help people feel less tired and increase energy levels because it contains a stimulant called caffeine, the most commonly consumed psychoactive substance in the world. After you drink coffee, the caffeine is absorbed into your bloodstream. From there, it travels to your brain. In the brain, caffeine blocks the inhibitory neurotransmitter adenosine. When this happens, the amount of other neurotransmitters like norepinephrine and dopamine increase, leading to enhanced firing of neurons. Many controlled studies in humans show that coffee improves various aspects of brain function, including memory, mood, vigilance, energy levels, reaction times, and general mental function. Second, it can help you burn fat. Caffeine is found in almost every commercial fat-burning supplement, and for good reason. It's one of the few natural substances proven to aid fat burning. Several studies show that caffeine can boost your metabolic rate by 3 to 11%. Other studies indicate that caffeine can specifically increase fat burning by as much as 10% in obese individuals and 29% in lean people. However, it's possible that these effects diminish in long-term coffee drinkers. Third, can drastically improve physical performance. Caffeine stimulates your nervous system, signaling fat cells to break down body fat. But it also increases epinephrine, adrenaline, levels in your blood. This is the fight or flight hormone, which prepares your body for intense physical exertion. Caffeine breaks down body fat, making free fatty acids available as fuel. Given these effects, it's unsurprising that caffeine can improve physical performance by 11 to 12% on average. Therefore, it makes sense to have a strong cup of coffee about half an hour before you head to the gym. Fourth, contains essential nutrients. Many of the nutrients in coffee beans make their way into the finished brew coffee. A single cup of coffee contains of riboflavin, 1% of the reference daily intake, pantothenic acids, 6% of the reference daily intake, manganese and potassium, 3% of the reference daily intake, magnesium and niacin, 2% of the reference daily intake. Though this may not seem like a big deal, most people enjoy several cups per day, allowing these amounts to quickly add up. Fifth, may lower your risk of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a major health problem, currently affecting millions of people worldwide. It's characterized by elevated blood sugar levels caused by insulin resistance or a reduced ability to secrete insulin. For some reason, coffee drinkers have a significantly reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. Studies observe that people who drink the most coffee have a 23 to 50% lower risk of getting this disease. One study showed a reduction as high as 67%. According to a large review of 18 studies in a total of 457 and 22 people, each daily cup of coffee was associated with a 7% reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. 6. May protect you from Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Alzheimer's disease is the most common neurodegenerative disease in the leading cause of dementia worldwide. This condition usually affects people over 65, and there is no known cure. However, there are several things you can do to prevent the disease from occurring in the first place. This includes the usual suspects like eating healthy and exercising, but drinking coffee may be incredibly effective as well. Several studies show that coffee drinkers have up to a 65% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. 7th, may lower your risk of Parkinson's. Parkinson's disease is the second most common neurodegenerative condition, right behind Alzheimer's. It's caused by the death of dopamine-generating neurons in your brain. As with Alzheimer's, there is no known cure, which makes it that much more important to focus on prevention. Studies show that coffee drinkers have a much lower risk of Parkinson's disease, with a risk reduction ranging from 32 to 60%. In this case, the caffeine itself appears to be beneficial as people who drink decaf don't have a lower risk of Parkinson's. 8. May help you live longer. Given that coffee drinkers are less likely to get many diseases, it makes sense that coffee could help you live longer. Several observational studies indicate that coffee drinkers have a lower risk of death. In two very large studies, drinking coffee was associated with a 20% reduced risk of death in men and 26% decreased risk of death in women. Over 18 to 24 years. This effect appears particularly strong in people with type 2 diabetes. In one 20-year study, individuals with diabetes who drank coffee had a 30% lower risk of death. 9. May protect your liver. Your liver is an amazing organ that carries out hundreds of important functions. Several common diseases primarily affect the liver, including hepatitis, fatty liver disease, and many others. Many of these conditions can lead to cirrhosis, in which your liver is largely replaced by scar tissue. Interestingly, coffee may protect against cirrhosis. People who drink 4 or more cups per day have up to an 80% lower risk. 10. May lower risk of certain types of cancer. 9. Can fight depression and make you happier. Depression is a serious mental disorder that causes a significantly reduced quality of life. It's very common, as about 4.1% of people in the US currently meet the criteria for clinically depression. In a Harvard study published in 2011, women who drank 4 or more cups of coffee per day had a 20% lower risk of becoming depressed. Another study found that those who drank 4 or more cups per day were 53% less likely to die by suicide. 11 may lower risk of certain cancer types. Cancer is one of the world's leading causes of death. It's characterized by uncontrolled cell growth in your body. Coffee appears to be protective against 2 types of cancer, liver and colorectal cancer. Liver cancer is the third leading cause of cancer death in the world, while colorectal cancer ranks fourth. Studies show that coffee drinkers have up to 40% lower risk of liver cancer. Similarly, one study found that those who drank 4 to 5 cups of coffee per day had a 50% lower risk of colorectal cancer. 12 doesn't cause heart disease and may lower stroke risk. It's often claimed that caffeine can increase your blood pressure. This is true, but with a rise of only 3 to 4 millimeters. The effect is small and usually dissipates if you drink coffee regularly. However, it may persist in some people, so keep that in mind if you have elevated blood pressure. That being said, studies don't support the idea that coffee raises your risk of heart disease. On the contrary, there is some evidence that women who drink coffee have a reduced risk. Some studies also show that coffee drinkers have a 20% lower risk of stroke. Now let's move on to the next part. I will give you ways to enjoy your coffee. You might be don't like coffee because it tastes bitter, but these ways can give you a new experience in enjoying coffee. First, coffee in waffle cones. This is especially for those people who have a sweet tooth. Not only will you get to drink your coffee with a twist, but you get a crispy, delicious snack with it. Second, iced coffee. The thing about iced coffee is the many ways you can have it. Whether it's just adding some ice cubes to your hot drink or going for a mocha frappe with whipped cream and a dash of caramel. Third, avocado coffee. It's basically a coffee dessert. How you might ask? Well, it consists of vanilla ice cream and shot of espresso. Is your mouth watering just yet? Or do you need to look at the image? Right. Fourth, dalgona coffee. Also known as whipped coffee, took the world by storm in the past few months. The best thing about this coffee is that you can literally make it in 30 seconds. Fifth, coffee slush. This is what happens when you combine coffee, ice, caramel sauce, and vanilla ice cream in a blender. Sixth, cappuccino. The key to creating the perfect cappuccino is to use a frother. In case you're wondering what this is, it's a device that makes your milk foamy and delicious. 7, cinnamon coffee. Try sprinkling some cinnamon in your next cup of coffee. It will give it that spicy kick, and once you try it, you'll probably get addicted. 8, caramel macchiato. An espresso coffee drink with the addition of a small amount of foamed milk and some vanilla or caramel syrup. Nowadays, it's considered a new classic coffee drink, and better yet, a lot of time you will find them in supermarkets. You can just buy the coffee ground and enjoy it at home. You can also have this drink as a caramel frappuccino. Ninth, Turkish coffee. The Arabs are well known for drinking a classic Turkish coffee. Did you know that Turkish coffee has a lot of benefits? For example, it is filled with antioxidants. That's all several ways to enjoy your coffee. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Okay, now let's summarize briefly what we've looked at. Coffee is one of the world's most popular beverages. Thanks to its high level of antioxidants and beneficial nutrients, it also seems to be quite healthy. Studies show that coffee drinkers have a much lower risk of several serious diseases. Coffee has several benefits for health. Some of them are able to make you smarter, help you burn fat, and improve physical performance. Containing essential nutrients make coffee able to lower risks of having diabetes, Alzheimer's disease and dementia, Parkinson's, cancer, heart disease, and stroke. The good fact that it can boost up your mood. To enjoy your coffee, there are several ways that you can do. You can make it as coffee in waffle cones, iced coffee, avocado coffee, dalgona coffee, coffee slash, cappuccino, Turkish coffee, cinnamon coffee, and caramel macchiato. In conclusion, coffee is good for your health. Besides of its better taste, it contains certain of essential nutrients. But don't forget about your caffeine consumption limit. Too much coffee can make you unhealthy. Finally, I'd like to end by thanking you all for your attention. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.